Hello and happy birthday, New Who. New Who is the term used for Doctor Who since it returned to our screens in 2005. Now we know, all in all, Doctor Who is over 50 years old. It's run continuously for over 50 years, either on TV or as audio plays, audio dramas, whatever you want to call it. But the new series has been back now for 10 years, and what a success story, boys and girls, and you in between. It's been, wow, it's been a big success story. Love it or hate it, it's been amazing from when it first came back with the first episode, Rose, of the return. It was amazing. If anyone told me 5 years before that Billie Piper would be riding around in the TARDIS with Christopher Eccleston, I would have had you committed. They wanted to have me committed years ago, but it's never going to happen. Anyway, let's talk about New Who. How was it possible that it was brought back? Who can we thank for this? Well, a fantastic guy called Russell T Davies. It was his idea to bring Doctor Who back. He fought for it. The BBC gave him permission to bring it back. They wanted him to do it, but he was the one who approached them, rather than the other way round. And when you look at that first episode, Rose, people will will nitpick with that episode, but all in all, it was a brilliant way to bring it back. The last time we saw Doctor Who on TV was the Doctor Who movie with Paul McGann. I loved it, by the way, but it was Americanised. There's no question about it, and that's why people didn't like it. But what people did love about it was Paul McGann, the potential for a new era Doctor Who, with all the bells and whistles, with the special effects, a more emotional storyline. They're the kind of things that people really, really enjoyed. And that aspect of it worked. So what Russell wanted to do when he didn't want to kind of have Paul regenerating as Chris, he just didn't see the point of bringing Paul back just for that. So Chris came back. He was officially the ninth version of the Doctor at that time. Of course, we've had John Hurt, blah 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 blah. But at that time, Chris was the ninth Doctor, the ninth regeneration, the ninth incarnation of the Doctor. Now, before I saw the episode, I did see the episode a little bit before everyone else, but or most people. The hype was very interesting. When I heard that Billie Piper was being cast as a companion, I'm not going to pretend I wasn't concerned. I wasn't sitting there going, "Oh, Billie Piper, critically acclaimed actress, oh yeah, she's brilliant." No, the only thing I liked about Billie Piper is that I found her really attractive, and I liked her as a pop star. I didn't mind her songs, sing along. So that's what I thought. Billie Piper. Did I ever think she was a good actress? I didn't ever see her performing anything. I was concerned, but the point was that Christopher Eccleston had been cast as the Doctor. So I wasn't, although I was concerned, I wasn't overly concerned that she could mess up the show. The only thing she may have done would be to her character to annoy me. But what Russell T Davies did very cleverly was to write Billie's character to type, if you like. So what happened was, we had a kind of impression of who and what Billie Piper was. And to me, I always thought of her as a down-to-earth girl next door. I didn't see her as anything else. So that was the perception. He wrote her as this girl who was raised by her mother. Her father had died when she was younger. Very a Cockney accent, if you want. Living in a council estate. So that was the kind of impression we had of Billie already. Not a true impression, but that's just kind of... So he wrote her to type. Now, Christopher Eccleston is a well-respected, well-renowned actor. I mean, I first saw him performing in Cracker, which was the brilliant TV show starring Robbie Coltrane, of course. Jimmy McGovern, one of my favourite writers, brought that show to us. But I've seen Chris before, and I just was so excited because I'd already seen him in Gone in 60 Seconds, so I knew that Hollywood had noticed Chris, and this was, as Russell said rightly, one of the best actors in the world, British, American, or anything. He's amazing. It was great that he didn't change his accent. I loved the comment, every planet has a north. Of course, yes, every planet has a north. That's a great answer, isn't it? But it was great, and the way he played him was great. And of course, what Russell's brilliant idea of having this time war thing, where the Doctor destroyed the whole of his planet, the planet Gallifrey, to save the whole of creation, and that was something that Chris's performances carried so well from episode to episode. You saw this was such a broken Doctor, but he still had a heart. Yeah, he's got two hearts, isn't he? But yeah, he still had a heart. He still cared about the universe, but he was broken. And at times, if Rose pushed him, he kind of, you know. Now, one of the things that people talk about, of course, is the companion thing. I mean, it saddens me in a lot of ways that most of the time, all the forums and everything talk about the companions more than the Doctor. It's quite sad, really. The Doctor is one of the most interesting characters in pop culture, and they talk about, you know, the pretty thing that rides with him. You know, I love the companions, and I love the fact that they give them like arcs and they make them important as well. But this is the Doctor's show. This is an amazing character. This is an amazing character for children and teenagers to look up to, because he's not perfect. He's not perfect. But what he is a kind of a hero. But he's an interesting hero because he doesn't always do the right things, does he? Not all the time. He's let people die before. He's got a twisted morality, but he's been alive for so long that his mentality is different. But ultimately, he's a good guy. In a universe with a lot of bad people in it, he has to make big decisions. And I just think he's an amazing character. And the BBC, when they brought this character back in '63 to the world, brought us something special. You know, you have to look at it and think, wow. But the achievement of New Who is something so special to me, because the way they modernised it was great. To me, it's the same show as what we saw when William Hartnell first performed the role. People will say it's not, it's so different, blah, blah, blah. He's still the Doctor. He's still from Gallifrey. He still rides around in a TARDIS that's disguised as a phone box. He has companions. He's got friends all around the universe. He's got enemies all around the universe. He travels from place to place. Still the same show, and I love it. There's some Doctors I like more than the others, of course. That's what the part of the show is. And I could sit here all day talking about Doctor Who, but the success story of New Who is something special that it's just amazing what they did to bring this back. A show that was amazing before, but let's be honest, was a show that didn't have the international success it has now. Now, some people say the reason it's more popular now because it's sacrificed some of its morals. Now, that's a debate for a different time. I know aspects of what people are talking about. This show was more for the less popular people at school, let's say. People like myself, who were chosen last for the football team, who didn't have, the girls weren't going, ain't he hot? You know, and people like myself, and, you know, but now it's for everyone. And I think that's a good thing. I think Doctor Who should be for everyone. I think it's so amazing and so special. And it's changed my mentality to the world. I know maybe a TV show should do that, but, you know, when you think about what it represents and the messages it represents, it's special. I love it. And I'm really excited about Season 9 coming up. Of course, it's not really Season 9. Don't even ask me in the overall scheme of things what season this is. I'm sorry, but I don't know, and I admit that. And I've said it before, I came into all this insanity when Peter Davison took over the role as the Doctor, and I've loved it ever since. It's just something special. It's definitely got to be... I don't think, you see, Doctor Who to me isn't just a TV show. I compare him to Superman or one of the superheroes. I don't see him as a superhero, but he's a pop culture icon to me. He's amazing. Doctor Who is up there with Star Wars, can compete with Star Wars, and I love Star Wars, I love Lord of the Rings. Doctor Who is British, it's special, and us Brits should be ever so proud. Yes, there's a lot of... Americans will remind us that via BBC America, there's a lot of American money pumped into this, but there's also a lot of BBC UK money pumped into this. And let me just say before I go, before I'm cut off, 9 out of 10 people who work on Doctor Who are British. 9 out of 10 people who work on Hollywood productions are British because they are the most talented producers, actors, editors and directors in the world. I'm not taking away from America, but I just thought I'd like to get that in because there's all this talk about American money in Doctor Who, but who makes it? What is the talent that brings it to you? Without Russell T Davies, a Welsh man, New Who wouldn't have come back. Stephen Moffat has got his critics, but he's a very talented man, and there's so many aspects of his Doctor Who that I absolutely adore. But it's like a painting, isn't it? There's some aspects of it you like, and it's all about opinion. And it's great that we can exchange opinions about people and about creative people, as long as it's done in a nice way. That's how I see it. So happy birthday, New Who. Let's have another 30 years. Let's hope the overall show goes on forever. It's special. It's amazing. I love it. I've actually started watching it from the beginning, from William Hartnell, and I'm going to go all the way through to New Who. And hopefully by then it will be time for season 9. Exciting times, people. We'll talk again. See you later. Bye-bye.